Have you ever felt so angry you thought you might explode in rage? Anger can be triggered by external events, like someone blocking the road to send a text message, or internal events, like our thoughts and memories. Contrary to what some might think, anger is a normal and valid emotion. It is also one of our most primitive emotions. Anger evolved over millions of years and was vital to the success of our species. It helped us to react quickly to fight off the threat of predators, to compete for resources, and to enforce rules and social norms that were important for the well-being of the group. Today, we're more likely to compete for material resources than food, and we don't have to worry about the threat of saber-toothed cats. But like our ancestors, if we feel threatened or life deals us a bad hand, alarm bells start to ring. When we feel angry, a small almond-shaped part of the emotional brain, called the amygdala, triggers the body's fight or flight response. This causes the body to be flooded with stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline, which prepares you for physical action by increasing your heart and breathing rate and pumping more blood to your extremities, which also makes you turn red. Anger doesn't always escalate to aggression. What happens next is decided by a part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for thinking and making judgments. Most of the time, the prefrontal cortex is able to keep a lid on our primal impulses, ensuring we act in a socially acceptable way. But when we experience very strong emotions, or think we're in danger, the emotional part of the brain takes over. The logical brain struggles to process what's going on, and we react on instinct. Psychiatrist Daniel Siegel calls this flipping your lid. When this happens, it's best to stand down for at least 20 minutes to give your nervous system a chance to calm and for the prefrontal cortex to bring the lid down and take over. Children and young people flip their lid more often because the prefrontal cortex and its connections with the amygdala are less well developed. When this happens, we must first try to calm the child's downstairs emotional brain before we engage with their upstairs thinking brain. It's possible to demonstrate this to children as young as 6 by using your hand to represent the brain. The fingers represent the thinking prefrontal cortex, and the thumb represents the amygdala, which is tucked up beneath the prefrontal cortex in the middle of your fist. When we feel strong emotions, the brain flips its lid and the thinking fingers are no longer touching the thumb, which means the emotional part of the brain is in control. Simple exercises like square breathing, where you breathe in slowly for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, breathe out slowly for 4 seconds, and hold for another 4 seconds, help the amygdala to calm down so that the prefrontal cortex can reconnect and take control. Anger is a normal and valid emotion. However, chronic anger can increase your chances for heart disease events like high blood pressure and heart attacks. So if you have a short fuse, it's important to find healthy ways to process your anger, like meditation and mindfulness to increase your awareness of anger, breathing exercises to calm your nervous system, and finding ways to express your anger, like talking to others about it or keeping a journal of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviours. It's important to listen carefully to your anger, because sometimes anger is just the visible tip of an iceberg with other emotions, like embarrassment, fear, and loneliness lurking beneath the surface. If this is the case, it can sometimes help to take a deeper dive to understand the root cause of your anger. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so I can make more content like this in the future.